James Marsters. I play Spike on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Home sweet home.
And I'm totally kidding you. I'm not British.
I had no idea James wasn't English until I met him.
He's kind of always been trying to do North London. He comes over sort of somewhere north of Watford, actually.
Spike was designed to be the Sid Vicious of the vampires.
Along the highway!
James has a little scar in his eyebrow
That I received with brass knuckles in Queens one night.
and as I was doing the makeup, he suggested that I paint it in.
And he said, oh no.
We should play it out rather than hide
He
it.
calls it the Scorpion.
James is fantastic.
He's taken this character that was supposed to be just a short-term role and made it someone that the show can't survive without.
I'm really glad I came here, you know?
Let me try on the trench coat.
It's a $2,000 coat, and they immediately ran over it with a truck about 25 times. For season 2, they cleaned it up, and it looked almost new. So I spent the whole day rolling around on the soundstage getting dirty again.
You're a little
That is
peculiar.
what I like best about what happened last year, about him discovering, is that it could motivate him almost anywhere to acts of heroism or great evil, whether or not she dies. If she spurns him, he could try even harder to be the kind of man that would deserve her, because right now he's not, you know. Or he could just say screw it and just have a killing spree, or find out how to do it. The fact that she's dead, in my own mind, I killed her. This is not Spike speak. I'm spiking. I'm just as a fan.
Yes.
I failed up there completely. I was supposed to protect her and Dawn, and I absolutely failed. I got my ass kicked with not much problem. So I don't think Spike's going to be a very happy puppy for a while. It was very emotional for a lot of reasons. That it was the 100th episode. The last episode where Joss was going to be on the set day to day. Thematically, I think that he tied up his original premise, which is how does a young child become an adult and pass through adolescence. And all of us vampires are just metaphors for those problems. And I think that in the moment that she sacrificed her life to save her sister, she became a true adult. And so, knowing that he was kind of wrapping up in a certain way a certain part of the story was also very important. We were also very tired. Filming an action movie is tiring work. I mean, really, because usually Buffy does all the work. So usually Sarah's always on set and you're home sleeping, But when you have to be running from glory with Buffy, then you have to be on the set every time that Sarah's there, which is great to be with Sarah and all, but you just get really tired. So by the end of it, we really were all slagged. Kind of. Most of the fan mail is centered around my physical appearance. I think I got more oohs and ahs when I was the villain, interestingly enough. More like, oh, you're so hot, you're so sexy. Now,
everybody loves a bad boy.
Exactly. Now it's a little more, I've been through that. I recognize that. I feel like, I think I know what you felt like when you went through that, which is a little bit cooler, actually. I've come to realize that I don't think that Marty and Joss find cool to be that interesting. They can set it up very quickly. It takes them about 2.5 minutes to set up a cool character. But that character will either be expendable or will change into something much more interesting. I think that humiliation, vulnerability, these things are more human. Failure. And whereas we all want to be Superman, none of us are. And I think it's a higher artistic mark to be talking about that.
But now Spike has fallen in love with the Slayer. He was all about killing her, and now he's fallen for her, and he knows that he's screwed. And he is pursuing her anyway. And last year, after promising to protect her and her sister, failed miserably. So he's kind of a wet puppy right now.
I get involved religiously with that. It's the cornerstone of our social lives, frankly. We get together for 6.5 hours, read a play for 3.5 hours, break out some tequila and some beers and talk about it and dance, and then we break out musical instruments, piano, bass, guitars, drums, and try not to wake the neighbors. No, like everything Buffy, it was exactly the opposite of what I expected. I think if you were going to call the shots of what's going to happen next year, think of what you want to happen and then turn it on its head, and you'll probably have something close. I thought that he was a badass, frankly. I thought he was a big, badass before. So this is why they made him, what he was. But yeah, I was terrified, frankly. When I was told what was going to happen, I was absolutely terrified, which I later found to be a blessing. In the 5th year of a show, to be terrified by your character is kind of a blessing, really. And I'm not bored, Most actors would be bored in 5 years. There's no way not to hang myself on that question. They're all wonderful in their own way. They're all very tasty. And now Freddie's going to kill me for good reason, as is everyone else's boyfriend that I just talked about. Thanks.
Hey guys, this is James Marsters talking to you. Come to the Red Cross Blood Drive, give your blood, or I'll take it from you.
Shakespeare.
Okay, yeah.
I need Hamlet because I have to do a report on it.
Let's talk about Hamlet for a second. No, this is great. This is great.
I gotta do that scene, I gotta do the graveyard scene, and I gotta do,
You doing two? Yeah. The thing about Hamlet is it's a lot like Catcher in the Rye, and also actually a bit like Buffy. It's a play about a man who's trying to go from being a child to being a man, how he starts to cross over adolescence and really kind of burst through disillusionment. Because, when a lot of us, when we're kids, we have a lot of ideals, and what is right and what is just and what is fair is so important. And then at some point we run up against the world, and it's totally unjust. And it takes a while for us. Some people can become completely inactive in the face of that and just get totally disillusioned and just give it up. And it's the challenge to go ahead and fight the good fight anyway. And so you have Hamlet, who's just at that age in the beginning of the play, of starting into manhood. Because you got Claudius telling him what a man is and what a man isn't and stuff like that. He is just... His world is so sick and so twisted, and the core life is so messed up that it's what most of us face, but exponentially more. And so it's more dramatic. So basically, Hamlet is, I think, best when played as a young man, like the to be or not to be speech. It's just like, you just stand out to the audience and say, guys, I've been thinking about this, and it just seems like life is just kind of meaningless. And the only thing that keeps us from killing ourselves is that we're afraid of death. And when it's just a real sincere, simple statement like that, it becomes really powerful. But if it's played by an actor who's doing Hamlet, then it's just bull, it's just crap. So I would play the innocence and realize that there's a cheat in the play. The play only, the arc of the play is only a few years in history, but Hamlet goes from like 18 to 35. It's a complete cheat. And most people make the mistake of playing Hamlet as 35 the whole way through, because at one point in the script he's described as being 30 or 33 or something like that. But really in the beginning of the play he's not. And especially in To Be or Not to Be. What's that?
in the beginning, it's like he just came from school, he was a scholar or whatever, and then all of a sudden he's this man, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought he's a little close.
No, and Shakespeare does that a lot. He really cheats time and ages around so that he can compress things into one evening and do a larger arc of a life. Yeah, that's my thing about it. You're welcome.
Spike!
I was beginning to wonder if this world was void of your kind.
Plenty of us to go around, love.
Do you ever have any fun? Shut up!
Hello, this is James Marsters coming to you from the set of Angel, and I've just been given the Spacey Award for this year, and I am very thankful to you for that. I didn't really get into acting for the applause, frankly, or even awards, but what I have missed over the years of doing The show is to not have the kind of communication with the audience, the kind of moment-to-moment thing where they tell you if you're being boring or if you're being interesting or they find something funny. And this is about as close as I'm going to get. And so I thank you. I feel like I've been reaching out over the years during all the takes and stuff, knowing that there were people watching and that there were people who were interested. And I feel like you guys are reaching back, and I really thank you for that. And it made me feel really good today. Thank you. Canada rocks.